Hey guys, Marsenkin here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so today I wanted to show off a particular team build here that can work quite well in getting to the point where you are actually able to get Vegito Blue and Blue Gogeta out on the same turn. I've seen a lot of people, obviously, since Gogeta's release, clowning on Vegito and the way his kit was designed compared to Gogeta. And obviously a lot of people pointing out the fact that because you can fuse with Gogeta on the same turn, or even the turn earlier, right? Because he can fuse on turn 4. If you have him on turn 1, you float him off. Once he fuses, he then starts healing you, which then makes it almost impossible for you to fuse with Vegito. But if you build the team in a certain way, you play in a certain way, you can get them both to fuse, and then they do work very well together. So we're going to jump into the Red Zone Frieza stage and, yeah, see if we can get this to work. Okay, so we are starting off here against Golden Frieza Red Zone stage to see how we can get on with this particular setup. Now, the one thing about this setup for this event, I guess, is that because we have this minions stage as phase 1, it's obviously not a place where we're going to be able to take a lot of damage. So we do want to try and get through the first phase as quickly as possible. Now, obviously, you know, we only have a certain amount of control over that because ideally we're going to get things like additional super attacks and things like that. Getting this rotation first, where we actually have the GT duo as well, is really, really good because, of course, they are going to be able to get a whole bunch of additional supers and everything as well. Now, we do have the friend Blue Boys on the rotation here, which unfortunately the private server that I use is currently having a weird issue where the friend unit is not getting the full hidden potential stats for some reason, which means this will make this combo look a little bit worse, unfortunately. Because we've put the Blue Boys in slot 2 so they can get a chance to get some additional 12 key supers which infinitely stack their attack. But as we all knew from back in the day with units like Int Goku Black, units that have low stats, even if they're stacking, they're not stacking by very much. So you can see the huge difference, like when we see the other Blue Boys on the next turn, how much higher attack stats they'll be getting than the ones that are here. So ideally what I should really do is switch them around in the rotations. So that we get the opposite ones. Then the problem with that, of course, is we're trying to aim for the turn 5 fusion. Now, of course, I guess one thing we should consider as well is if we get the turn 5 fusion and then transform with Gogeta, that's going to give us the heal, which is then obviously going to make it so that the other Vegito on the other rotation can't fuse, which we probably don't really want. In fact, really, the best way to play this actually is probably to have Gogeta on the first turn and then float him off, which I didn't really consider. We probably should have done that, to be honest, because then he's going to transform he could transform turn 4, but we'll save his transformation for turn 6. So that's what we probably should have done, but we can still see how this plays out here. Not a great rotation here for getting like the Bulma buff and stuff like that, but we will end up killing this turn anyway, so I suppose it doesn't really matter too much. So we'll go ahead and do this, and then we'll just grab these for you, because I mean, between them they should kill Sashimi here. Bulma's not going to do crazy damage without her support or even her 18 key super, but the Blue Boy's potentially going to get some additionals, and then obviously Gogeta at the end should do some decent damage, gets guaranteed additional from being in slot 3 as well. So, because ideally we finish him off here just because we want to get into the next phase so that our units can actually start taking some damage. So we can actually get towards that turn 5 fusion. But, yeah, I mean, you can see here straight away, this is their first super attack. And this is a higher attack stat than the, like, additional super that the Blue Boys did on the other turn. And you can see the numbers jump up a little bit better once they've got these higher stats. I really hope that issue gets fixed sooner rather than later, but obviously by the time this stuff comes to global, it's going to be fun trying out some of these builds again with like my box, because obviously my units are going to be properly rainbow level 10 links with the right stats and everything. So it'll be interesting to try this out again. Plus, who knows what other events we'll have in the game, because we'll have any new content that comes out for Saiyan Day Golden Week. Not expecting like a crazy red zone or anything like that, but it'd be nice to have some sort of new bit of content by then. Once this stuff comes out on global, but we'll see. Obviously we'll have the Saiyan Day unit as well, so if they're a character that can work well towards this team, that would be very good. It would be crazy if like the private server actually has them, so I could have brought them, but then that wouldn't be a sort of legit showing of what we're trying to do here. But The private server does actually have items that make you lose HP. So you can see here, right? So these guys have 10,000 defense, but then the actual one that's like the full one has 16,000. So there's a very significant difference, and it's really noticeable once you start seeing all these attack stats like flying out, how much less they're doing, which is unfortunate. So we'll do that. It does mean that the combo, once we do get Vegito out, is obviously not going to look as good as he would if it was the proper full one, but unfortunately that's just the RNG of not having him on the starting turn with Gogeta. Would have been nice, but Gogeta taking a super here is actually good. This is what we want. We want to drop below the HP threshold, which we have now done. So now all we need to do is maintain this level of HP. And what we will do is we will fuse with Vegito on turn 5, but we won't transform with Gogeta because he doesn't have any restrictions. So once he's transformed, his heal is then going to make it difficult for the other Vegito to transform, right? So in order for to not only, we want to pull off getting the Vegito and Vegeta combo, Vegito and Gogeta, I should say, combo, but we want to actually win the event as well, right? So if we go ahead and fuse and then transform Gogeta straight away, he ends up healing, the other Vegito can't fuse, and then obviously that's not good. So that's not what we want to do. Ideally we get we only just, like, Frieza only just survives this turn, which I think is probably going to be the case here, because again the friend, like Blue Boy's not really doing crazy damage here, even with another additional super, whereas you can see the other ones on the other rotation. I guess once they're fused we could flip the Vegitos around, because yeah, them taking 87 with a normal even with their guard up is kind of crazy. But obviously God Goku at the end here, post-super, he's got his guard, we've got the 6 orbs, he's going to get an additional as well. Frieza's already supered, so we don't need to worry about that. So yeah, we're going to be all good here. Ideally, I just want Goku to not kill, which he might if he's going to get another additional. Hopefully he doesn't, but because that allows us to just get through the next turn as quickly as possible. Nice. There we go. That's what we like to see. All right, so then we don't want to heal, because obviously healing means we would go above the HP threshold if we heal by too much. We can heal by a little bit, so we can grab these. What is their defense here? 370. We don't want to pick up too many AGL orbs, but as long as we don't go above 50%, we'll be fine. So we can grab those. Perfect. And then we'll grab those for you. Not that it's hugely important, but do that. And then, yeah, perfect. Got the support for Bulma, so now we should be looking, or did we? Yeah, we did. So now we'll be looking good on the next turn here. We can get the Vegito Fusion. So, I mean, the thing is, a lot of people don't like using Vegito because of the little bit of extra, like, micromanagement that you have to do. But it is about managing your HP, essentially. So, now we're going to be able to get Vegito out. And this is kind of the perfect turn for it as well. We could go ahead and use his active skill as well, because we are below the 50% HP, which then gives him the 100% dodge chance. So let's go ahead and fuse with Vegito. I think the best idea here is probably to not not put Gogeta in slot 2. I think I'm going to keep Gogeta in slot 1. We can keep the two Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan fusions here together. And then I think this turn should be looking pretty nice. The only downside to delaying a turn with Gogeta fusing, though, as well, is it means we are delaying the use of his ability, like the active skill. But I think that's fine, just considering the fact that we probably won't get to use it after this phase. Because once we beat the AGL phase, the STR phase that has the countdown at the end disables dodge, I believe. I need to double check. I'm sure somebody said it does. Which means that you don't really want to be using Gogeta's ability, because he draws all the attacks on the turn to himself, which he would then dodge, but he can't because dodge is disabled, right? So you probably don't really want to be using it in that phase against the STR Frieza. So I think this works out quite nicely. They have 5 links together anyway, and then, yeah, they have every link except for Power Bestowed by God, and then Kamehameha. So that does work out really nicely. I don't want to heal too much again still, so we'll go ahead and do this. We want to heal a little bit, I guess, so we'll go ahead and grab those, and then you can grab all of these. So remember that both Vegito Blue and Blue Gogeta cannot take damage on this turn, because they both have a 100% chance to dodge. thanks to the active skill buff and then the just the transformation turn for Gogeta. So very, very good. The only way we're really in any trouble here, of course, is if Super Gogeta in slot 1 actually does get supered, which I'm really hoping he doesn't, because this combo is going to look very, very nice on this turn, as long as we're not facing down the barrel of a super, because he's going to have a decent amount of defense. I believe he doesn't have guard anymore, though, which is the issue. Again, with delaying the turn. But when it comes to normals, there you go. We just eat all of those, and now that's it. We can't take damage for the rest of the turn. So, sadly, the friend Vegito only at 7 mil. Be interesting to see what the other one is at, because the other one obviously got a whole bunch of stacks and actually has the proper hidden potential stats. But at least with Vegito Blue, even if his attack stats aren't as high as we might like, and again, this one is because of the bug, but even if his attack stats aren't as high as we might like, he does have effective against all types as well. So he is able to do a lot of damage just overall. Frieza does also have a lot of defense and damage reduction for this this fight as the new final boss of the movie bosses 2 Red Zone. But Vegito doing what Vegito does and just going and going and going with these super attacks. Man, the one on the next turn is going to look crazy. And then, of course, we're going to end up in a position, I'm sure, where we get to transform Gogeta into Blue Gogeta, and it's going to be like the last turn, right? Because we just casually dodge all of these attacks. Yep. Thank you. Can't take any damage. I mean, this rotation's pretty crazy when you think about 2 of the 3 units just cannot take any damage because they can't be hit. So it does work out quite nicely. But yeah, as I said, we will jump into Fusion Zamasu as well, which is a little bit more tricky because you can start taking a lot of damage straight from turn 1. And so that's where you have to switch focus a little bit and actually be going for trying to pick up a lot of same type orbs, trying to keep your HP as high as you can, because it can drop below the fusion condition at a moment's notice, basically, right? So now we can go ahead and fuse. We can also still play out the strat where we're going to use... Actually, yeah, we've already seen the animations. Let's cut down on time a little bit here. So we'll go ahead and do this. Then we'll go ahead and use the active skill again. We'll put him in slot 1. So now we don't have to worry about like an early super or anything like that. We do a whole bunch of damage. Then we put you in slot 1. We can grab these here. And now we don't have to worry about HP because both the Vegetos have fused. Both the Vegetos have used their active skills. So we can go ahead and do this. Vegito can't be touched. And between Vegito and God Goku, I'm pretty sure we're all good here. But look at the difference. So he's doing 9.49. And that's without having links like Legendary Power active as well. So obviously he's not going to have power bestowed by God with God Goku. But yeah, there's a big difference between this one and the friend one. And of course we do have the Bulma support here as well. So he's at 6.6 for the first one. We're easily going to get over 7 with these additionals. 7 million depending on how many he actually does here. There's a crit as well. And yeah, we're just going to keep going. 7.1. And then of course God Goku still going to get a guaranteed double super turn if he gets to attack. And of course could potentially even get a third one. I don't think Frieza's going to survive that long, but we'll see. We're up to 7.6 now. Just Vegito's just raining down the damage. And then yeah, next turn we're going to have the Gogeta. I think, are we going to... Yeah. Surely we're going to finish him off this turn. He does have a lot of HP, but... Man. Oh, okay. We're still going, apparently. 8.1. Remember, one of those attacks was a normal that could have been another super. So this would have been even higher than 8.1 on this turn. And this is him not with, like, his best link partner or anything. So just bear that in mind for Vegito. Like I say, people's biggest gripe with him is his damage. But if you get some slot 2 stacks with the blue boys early on, it can make a huge difference once you finally get Vegito out, right? So we're looking pretty good here. Yeah, come on, Goku. You got this. 9.6. I think even if he doesn't, to be fair, he's going to be on such low HP, Bulma should be all good. I think, did we get enough orbs for Bulma to get the guaranteed additional? Doesn't matter. But there you go. So now we get into the final phase, and yeah, it's going to be all she wrote for this Frieza. This Frieza doesn't have a lot of HP. Also, this is a pretty crazy rotation for it as well, considering we're going to have our Gogeta Fusion. Let's get that animation in here, why not? But we'll go ahead and, I say fusion, but we'll go ahead and transform with Gogeta. And yeah, between Gogeta and Vegito, that should be GG. So it does mean, I guess, for this strategy, if Gogeta's on turn 1, it means we kind of were delaying his transformation an extra turn to make sure the other Vegito gets to fuse. If Gogeta's on turn 2, it works out a lot better because it means he would be transforming turn 6 instead of turn 7. But it is kind of just the case of you basically have to just sort of hold Gogeta in check just a little bit, just to make sure that the other Vegito gets to fuse as well. Otherwise, you do get stuck in that situation where the other blue boys, whether it's the friend or your one, whichever one's on the other rotation, then can't fuse because you've healed so much. But look at that, 17.1 on the first turn here after transforming, being fused with LR Vegito Blue, with the support from Bulma. I would say that that's pretty good. And we obviously picked up a Rainbow Orb, so we're getting at least 2 additional supers. So the first one is basically 12 mil, right? We're only just a few numbers shy there. And then the next one will go over that as well. Effective against all types. We're getting some crits here as well, which is nice. Yeah, 12.9. So it jumps up by a pretty decent amount. I think we can still get a hidden potential as well, right? So we'll easily jump up over 13. We might even get to 14. But yeah. He is still going? No, it's Vegito, okay. But yeah, you can see again, the friend Vegito definitely not hitting the kind of numbers that the main one does. But I mean, the two of them together, the amount of damage that these guys could do in one turn would be absolutely ridiculous, like in the right circumstance. Imagine with, like, we got the Bulma support. Imagine if we had a slot 3 support unit on this rotation as well. Like, if we'd actually gotten... I wish I could have done it, right? We weren't at the HP threshold. Imagine we could have got the exchange into, or standby, I should say, into GT Super Saiyan Vegeta. Then both of these guys would be getting 80% attack support on top of what they're doing already. So Gogeta in slot 1 would just be an absolute monster on this turn. And then, yeah, Vegito just keeps going with the additionals. I think are we going to one-turn this phase? I know he doesn't have... he's not as tough as the other phases, but he does still have a pretty decent amount of HP. I know the GT duo haven't really been built up a huge amount, but until this Frieza does his countdown attack, which is basically a one-shot, I think it was comment that somebody put on the video where we did this stage the other day for the first time. Someone said his countdown does like 8 mil damage, which is pretty insane. But the rest of his like normals and stuff is not so bad. Plus these guys getting a few supers off here, they've got their damage reduction built up, as well as getting their defense for the turn. So yeah, there you go. I mean, the combo definitely working out quite nicely here. And then we still got this going on for turn 1. Oh, perfect. What a way to end. So, will it be the end? I hope so. Let's see. Will this be enough? Because he does have a lot of HP. But what a way to end it. We got a different Vegito Blue and Blue Gogeta rotation this time. But now we can use the final Kamehameha here. Will it be enough? Come on. Let's go. Sadly not. He does have a lot of HP, but there you go. Obviously, we could have used that in slot 3 in order to get the full buffs, but let's see. Just see Vegito Blue go off one last time here again, I guess. Was he on the friend one? He's got the, yeah, every link except power bestowed by God. So go ahead and do this. Grab these for you. And then God Goku. Can't get the 6 orbs, but it's not really important. I could have used God Goku's active skill as well, but since the video is about Vegito Blue and Blue Gogeta combo, we'll go ahead and let Vegito Blue here get the finish. Although, okay, I guess by not putting him in slot 2, he's not going to get as many potential additionals, right? Because obviously by using the active skill in slot 2, you get that extra buff, but... I mean, it shouldn't matter on this turn anyway, right? Because even if he doesn't finish him off somehow, STR Gogeta most certainly will. But I think Vegito Blue is going to seal the deal here. And there you go. So Gogeta and Vegito Blue, very powerful combo. So there you go, that was the team versus Red Zone Frieza. I was thinking about jumping into a different event with them as well, but the video ended up being quite long, and we did get to see quite a lot from both the units, a couple of different turns and everything. So I think that was a good showcase of the team build. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. I know Vegito is tricky to work with sometimes, but he's still a very, very fun unit. So let me know your thoughts on the team build. What do you think of Vegito Blue and Gogeta down below in the comment section? So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master fast Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.